Good morning. I slept good, but sometimes waking up is really hard for me. Getting up first thing, the first like hour or two, I'm just not even firing on all cylinders, you know? Oh, God. Oh. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. It's going to be a beautiful day. Happy Tuesday. It's like 7 a.m. here. I'm usually up early before everyone. I'm the first person at the beach this morning. I usually am. I got up at 4:45. Y'all, I gotta get a computer for school. It's got me stressed out. Got me super stressed. Super stressed. I don't know. I just know that it has to happen. So, one way or another, you know, gotta have a computer for school. So, yay. Yay, yay today. It's gonna be a beautiful day. It already is. Can y'all hear the birds? Good morning. Oh, Lord. Let me change this because I can already tell this is going south already. Anybody that says what's up is too young to be here. Lord have mercy. I'm just going to cut it off because it's going to put me in a bad mood because I just can't believe that society is this. It makes me so mad. I really hate that people don't know how to communicate anymore. First of all, I'm a grown-ass motherfucking woman. You don't say what's up to me. It's good morning. How are you? How did you sleep? You look beautiful this morning. How are you doing? Only children say, what's up? What's good? How old are you? Okay, act like it. Thank you. This is why I fucking hate the chat. It's like, who am I dealing with? Am I dealing with someone's 12-year-old son? Or am I dealing with adults? Because I thought that I had an age restriction for 18 on here. And I do. But it's like so frustrating when you come here for intellectual purposes and you meet people that are not intellectual. What up? Not your grammar. Not your grammar. What up? I would be heavily embarrassed if I said what's up to any fucking adult. I would want to crawl under a table and die from embarrassment for my own stupidity and incompetence in speaking. What's good? I would die from embarrassment as an adult, knowing that I said that to somebody. Like, what is wrong with people? Anyways, let's talk about Russell Brand because he's pissing me off this morning. I guess that's what started it, Russell, and his stupidity. Either he knows something that we don't know, or he's the dumbest person to ever walk Earth. It's just, it pisses me off when celebrities have opportunities to help others and they miss out on an opportunity to help others. And Russell Brand, his channel is notorious for intellectual research, okay? If you don't know who Russell Brand is, he's a celebrity from the UK, very known in the United States. I would be surprised if you didn't know who Russell Brand was, because he is one of the most popular UK celebrities that we currently have in America. He has a show, a podcast. He does millions of views every week on his channel, YouTube channel, and he was in movies. What was the one? Saving Sarah. Was he in that? Russell Brand movies. He's recently been charged with sexual assault in the UK. He was in Get Him to the Greek, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Arthur. He's been in a bunch of stuff. Rock of Ages, Army of One, Trolls. He must have did some voices in that because that's a kid's movie. But for 22 years, Russell has been clean. No alcohol, no drugs. He settled down. He had a wife. He had children. And then he started this podcast where he started to talk out against the establishment in the UK about politics, the way that they govern, the way that they run their country, and the lack of support for the citizens, okay? So Russell has been doing that for a few years now. He has spoke out against the government. That's why he's been charged with rape. I just want to be clear that this is what they do. This is what they did to me. This is how they stole my daughter. This is what happens when you mess with the government and the government doesn't like you. They come up with false charges, and the next thing you know, you're in jail for shit you didn't do. I've explained the dynamics of the court system and the justice system over and over and over. It is the epitome of a high school or college campus where everyone knows everyone, and they make deals behind closed doors to entrap people and wrongfully incarcerate people throughout this country and other countries. This is a proven fact. It's non-negotiable. 8 to 10% of our current prison population in America are actually innocent. Did you know that? Yeah. And I would be willing to bet, given the current circumstances of the past 5 years, that number is probably doubled because of the lack of justice in our justice system. So Russell has been charged with rape. A few counts from multiple women stemming back to the 1990s. There's multiple topics that have come up since he was charged. A being statute of limitations. First of all, the UK is years ahead of us when it comes to statute of limitations. I don't care if a victim takes 60 years to come forward. That victim has every right to see the perpetrator behind bars. So this is not a question of whether or not the statute of limitations should be what they are in the UK. I think that the UK is years ahead of America when it comes to statute of limitations. We need statute of limitations. There should be, actually, we don't need any statute of limitations for rape, murder, incest, sexual assault. There should be no statute of limitations on that, because sometimes, let me tell you, as a victim of sexual assault my entire life, sometimes it takes victims, they're not as strong as me. It can take them 40 years to come forward. Now, do I believe that Russell is guilty? Absolutely not, because the first question is why was he charged? He was charged because he spoke out against the establishment. He spoke out against the UK government. That's why he was charged. Just like me, when I had my daughter stolen and I was charged with child abuse, it was because I spoke out against a government agency, the Department of Social Services, the police department in Alamance County. And where did I find myself? In jail for crimes that I didn't do, because I hired an attorney, and my attorney said in open court that my civil rights were being violated. This is all on record, and we're going to hear it someday. We're going to hear it someday. I'm going to pull those court records, and we're going to hear what my attorney said on the record when she told a judge that my civil rights were being violated, and that this was a circus because I cussed out a social worker and I filed complaints with 2 government agencies. And they're doing the same thing to Russell. Now, my beef with Russell is, once again, he's either lying about something, or he knows something that we don't know, or he's the dumbest man to ever walk the earth. Let me ask you something, Russell. And I'm hoping that you see my comment that I just left on your channel and come here and see this video. I love you to death, but you're making a really stupid decision right now. You have spent a good portion of your late career speaking out against how crooked the government is, how the establishment is wrong. And then you get on your channel this morning and you all but apologize and admit to rape. That's not the Russell I know. You should be angry. You have a family and kids and a career and a life here in America. You're looking at life in prison and you are on your channel apologizing to people? Russell, this is a prime opportunity for you to help, if not hundreds of thousands, millions of people. Millions of people already know who you are. Millions of people already respect and love you. You have nothing to lose by trying to help others in this moment that you are being wrongfully charged with crimes you did not commit. What a perfect opportunity for you to come forward and be angry and talk about how the establishment and the U.S. government and every other government across the world, their justice systems are failing, their officers are corrupt, their social workers are corrupt, how they lie in court documents and the court takes it as word. You're about to go through that. Maybe you'll get angry after they drag you and put you in jail for shit you didn't do. Maybe that'll be your angry point. God, I hope it doesn't get to that. But the whole apology video, I'm sorry that the victims feel this way. Those victims are your enemy. Those victims, and once again, let me reiterate, either Russell knows something that he's not telling us, or either he's the dumbest man on earth. So are you guilty or are you not guilty, Russell? Because at first, I didn't think you were guilty until I saw your apology video this morning that you dropped 12 hours ago. Now I'm concerned. I'm like, well, he's kind of acting guilty. A non-guilty person would be angry. They would be ready to put someone's head on a chopping block for the blatant lies. You're not angry, Russell. Why are you not angry? That's concerning to me. He apologizes to everybody. Sorry to this person, sorry to that person. Da, 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 da. It's like you don't even know your position. You were being charged allegedly with rape that carries a life sentence in prison. And you're apologizing to people, but you say that you're not guilty. You say that you didn't do it. And you know, I believe you. I believe you. I know how it is. People say that I do a lot of shit that I don't. So I know how it is. And I'm not even a fucking celebrity, Russell. So I get it. When you get to that magnitude, honey, they're coming from every which way, trying to sue you, trying to damn make accusations, trying to fucking eat your throat out. Okay? But you should be angry. This is your children. You have children. You are married with a wife. You should be absolutely fucking outraged. So Russell gets on there, and I actually left this comment because I'm heartbroken that he has this opportunity to help so many people, and he's shitting on it by being nice. Now, I was thinking maybe this is a tactic for him because he wants to play nice in court. So he's going to be like, oh, you know, he said, the UK has the right to investigate me. The court system, justice will prevail. Once again, either you know something that you're not telling the public, or you are the dumbest human to ever walk this earth. And I really thought you were brilliant. You've spent the later part of your career talking about how corrupt the UK government is, and you're just going to put your faith in the fucking justice system, bro? I'm sorry, what? You already know what the UK has to offer you. You've talked about it half of your career. This is what I said. So he gets on there. He's being all nice. He's being all cool. He's being all, oh, I forgive this person. I forgive that person. Da, 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 da. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. I said, F this. You should be mad. This happened to me twice. You have an opportunity, Russell, to show the world how much power the government has and how they wrongfully incarcerate people that get in their way. Please be mad. Please get angry. You have an opportunity to be a voice for millions of people who have served time for things that they did not do. Please be a beacon of hope and get angry, because you have every right to be angry. Those victims are your enemy. And if they are lying unless you're not telling us something. So you need to get angry. This sheep-like behavior is unacceptable. This is exactly why people keep going to jail for crimes that they didn't do, because of sheeps. Because nobody says anything. They don't even say, hey, oh, I was wrongfully incarcerated. What is wrong with people? Has this gentle parenting really rotted their brains this bad? And what has happened to Russell? Because the Russell that I fell in love with would be enraged right now. So let's look at his charges. I really think it's a stupid move for him to be such a sheep. I understand that you have kids and a wife, but what you don't understand is they've already charged you, and those charges are going to stick no matter what, because they've already got it planned out. They've already got judges that have lied in court documents. They have prosecutors that have lied in court documents, and they have witnesses and victims that are going to lie in those same court documents. They already have, or you wouldn't be charged. You would have never been indicted. So I don't think that for someone of your magnitude, Russell, to make it this far, you should already know that you're going to have to come in swinging hot and angry. This sheepish behavior is going to lead to you going to prison for the rest of your life. You're being too nice to the people that are your enemy. It's ridiculous. I mean, here's the thing. If he's not going to fight for himself, then he deserves to go to jail for the rest of his life. It's his opportunity to fight for himself, and he's not doing it. And it's really sad to see. It's heartbreaking, actually, because I was really hoping that there was going to be some change from this. I was really hoping that other people would start coming forward saying, yeah, that happened to me. Yeah, that happened to me. Yeah, I went to jail. Yeah, I did time. I didn't do it. Imagine how many millions of people, because currently we're looking at 8 to 10% of the U.S. prison population is innocent. Those are people that are actively sitting in jail. County jails, prison, and federal. 8 to 10% of those inmates are innocent of crimes. They did not commit a crime, and they shouldn't even be incarcerated. Listen to what I'm telling you. Hundreds of thousands of people are currently in jail for shit they didn't do. And Russell could have been a beacon of hope. He could have brought some change to the justice system across the world, not just in the UK, but across the world. But what does he do? He goes on his channel and he acts like a fucking sheep. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What are you sorry for? Is there something you're not telling us? Because the last time I checked, you said you didn't rape those women, and we believed you. But now that you're turning into a sheep and you're on the internet borderline crying, asking for an apology, now I think you're guilty. Why would you not fight for yourself? Well, he ain't. He says he's going to let the justice system take over. Well, there went your future, Russell. If you're not going to fight, you're going to jail for crimes you didn't commit. I wonder what is the percentage of innocent inmates incarcerated in the UK? Bullshit. They're saying 2. There's no way. The UK criminal justice system is 10 times worse than the American justice system, for those that don't know. So if we're setting at 8 to 10, I'd be willing to bet that it's up there over there, because they're not getting due process when they're going to court. They don't get due process. We don't even fucking get due process in the United States. Who am I kidding? They rushed a 2-year court case in less than 4 months. Remember, that was just 3 months ago. Y'all were with me for that. That was a 4-month court case that should have been a 2-year court case that they rushed. That is not due process. Due process is going to be 9 months to 2 years. You can't just damn fast track a fucking court case, okay? I mean, you can, and then that person's going to go to jail for shit they didn't do. That's how that works. That's what due process is for. Everybody deserves their opportunity to represent, defend, whatever, you know? It just makes me so mad because I really thought that Russell Brand was somebody that he's not. I thought he was a fighter. I thought that he was a leader. I thought that he was going to change things. He has through his channel. But we see him turn into a sheep. And let me tell you something. This is not standing on ground. Standing on ground is dedicating your life to a career, fighting for what you believe in, and then standing on ground at the end of the day. Russell is not, you're not standing on ground. You're shitting on your entire career, Russell. You're shitting on your entire career. You rose to fame as a podcaster and YouTuber because you brought us truths. You brought us reality. You kept it real. You're not keeping it real with yourself. You're not keeping it real with your family. And you're not keeping it real at all. You're shying away from your problems. You need to confront this shit head on. You need to blast the UK. You need to blast the victims that are lying, because that's what they're doing. They're lying. So you need to blast all of these people. And I don't have to say allegedly because I know it to be true. This was not a man that would have to rape anybody. This was a man that literally had bitches throwing themselves at his feet in an airport. He would step off of a plane and bitches would just swoon. Just like Trump, by the way, just like Trump, who's also, they tried to wrongfully incarcerate him for rape. This seems to be the male attack, like they go after women and children, but they also go after men and try to say that men rape women. This is the male attack of a woman having her kids taken for something she didn't fucking do. It's crazy. And I don't believe that he did this, but at the same time, I'm disappointed because once again, he should be on the forefront fighting. And he's not. He said, I'm sorry. And that is such a bitch move. Such a bitch move. You built your career off of telling truths, off of exposing things, and then you turn around and you apologize to freaking the victims who are accusing you of rape? What are you doing right now, Russell? I understand that you're walking in the light of the Lord. But that's not what Jesus meant when he said walk in the light. Honey, he didn't say give your enemies ammunition to kill you. Russell Brand is being sued for sexual assault. But he's also been charged criminally in the UK. One count of rape, 1 count of indecent assault, 1 count of oral rape, 2 counts of sexual assault. One woman claims she was assaulted in 99. Another one said she was assaulted in 2001. Another one said 2004 to 2005. The Met's investigation remains open, and detectives ask anyone who has been affected by this case or anyone who has any information to come forward and speak with police. So they're looking for more women that ever fucked Russell to come forward to make false allegations so that they can add them to the list of women that are already making false allegations. That's what that is. And once again, this is all because he spoke out against the UK. He's been speaking out against the establishment for a while, years he's been firing off shots, talking about the corruption in politics in the United Kingdom. And it's crazy, I wonder how many years the Metropolitan Police have been trying to get victims to come forward so they can just put him in handcuffs. Yeah, because it's been years. Oh, listen, this is exactly how it works. This is exactly how it works. They've been looking for years. The Metropolitan Police have been trying to charge Russell for years. They've just been looking for anyone to come forward to say, oh yeah, he did this to me. They finally got what they wanted in these victims. I use that word lightly. These victims. Yeah, I don't know. It's very clear to me that this is because of his political views and the way that he went and the way that he, you know, the UK is going to see it as he's disrespectful. But in all actuality, he is shining a light on the corruption that they have going on in their country. And I agree with it. And this is why we fell in love with Russell. But Russell, you're forgetting your mission. You forget why you started. This is a prime opportunity for you to help millions of people. I'm disappointed in his response. I understand that he's trying to walk in the light of the Lord, but he needs to realize that right now he is on earth and Satan runs this earth. So you got to play hardball, and that means getting angry and defending yourself. Once again, he either knows something that he's not telling us, or he's making the dumbest decision of his life, because playing nice with these people is not going to get him the results that he wants. Playing nice with these people is going to get his ass thrown in jail for crimes he didn't do. Ask me how I know. I'm only free because I fought both times that I was incarcerated for things I didn't do. I fought tooth and fucking nail. I took on the government head to head both times. And that's the only way that you're going to secure your freedom. This apology bullshit that you're putting out, Russell, is not going to get you anywhere. Nowhere. You need to get angry. You need to go find your guts, your strength, the reason that you started your channel, the reason that you got into this. You need to hone in on that and get angry as fuck. The Russell I know is no fucking sheep. And that video that you posted last night, you have a family and children. You were playing hardball with some of the world's top leaders. And you're going to lose. And they'll throw you in jail for shit you didn't do. They don't even need any evidence. The evidence that they need, they'll falsify in court documents and a judge will sign off of it and make it word. Listen to what I'm telling you. They don't need any evidence to convict you of crimes you did not do. All they got to do is put something on a piece of paper and get a judge to sign off, and it becomes law. And you're going to jail. That's how the court system works in the U.S. And I know that it's 10 times worse in the U.K., so I can only imagine policy and procedure in the U.K., Russell. Now, no doubt he's probably definitely got an attorney. You're a very smart man, Russell. Very, very smart man. I don't know. I just think that it's crazy that he is being a pussy. That's exactly what he's being. He's being a pussy. And I understand that it's because he's scared. But you've spent your whole career fighting these people. You've spent your whole career fighting the UK. Now it's come to a head. And instead of fighting like you've been fighting your whole career, you're bowing down instead of defending yourself. So once again, either he knows something that he's not telling us, or he is misjudging this situation so significantly he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison, and he doesn't even realize it because he's playing hardball once again with some of the most corrupt leaders in the world. And I don't even think he knows it. Like, you would think he knows it because he's talked about the establishment for 5 fucking years, but like, that apology video that I just fucking watched is laughable. I mean, it's infuriating. Yeah, and they shouldn't, nowhere should have a statute of limitations. Like, listen, I don't care that it's been 20 years. That's not the problem for me. all victims that were actually assaulted deserve to be able to report that crime, even if it takes 60 years. Murder, rape, incest, all of that should never have a statute of limitations anyways, because sometimes it takes years for victims to realize what has even happened to them. But in Russell's case, it's very clear from what happened prior to him starting the podcast that this is baloney. You know, like, it's very clear that they're only coming after him because he spoke out against the government. So, you know, he's talked about the corruption. He's talked about, you know, the mutilation of children and stuff that goes on in the UK. And he should, you know, he should be fighting right now. He should be angry and he should be fighting. This is war. This is your life. This is your future, your kid's future. You are married with children and you are about to spend the rest of your life in prison. And if you think for a moment that he's not going to jail, you are crazy. Because of the fact that they can falsify documents, bring in witnesses that will lie for them, that sets the stage for a trial. Okay? That jury, all they got to do is believe her over him, and he's going to prison for the rest of his life. And one step further, we don't know what false evidence they have planted, false witness statements, which we know over 70% of witness statements are wrong. Did you know that? We learned about that last year. 70% of witness statements are wrong. False identifications. They didn't see what they thought they saw. They mistaken this for that. 70%. So, I don't know. The jury has to believe her or him. That's what it comes down to. And here's the thing. The court system can falsify documents. They do it every day. When a case is not going the way that a cop or a judge or a prosecutor wants, they tweak some things in court documents to make scenes appear different than what they actually were, to kind of create a picture. Okay? And they can just put whatever they want in a document and get a judge to sign it, and it becomes law. It becomes what happened. So I don't think that Russell, you know, yeah, he knows that they're corrupt, but I don't think he knows the ins and outs of the court system. I don't think that he realizes that they can just plant evidence, and they will. They will. They can plant evidence, and they will, just to get a conviction. People don't understand how corrupt the cops are. And I can't even put it into words. But a good portion of what society knows to be true about the justice system is not true. People don't even understand how much power the government and police have. They break the law more than the people that they fucking arrest. Russell needs to get angry. He needs to find his strength, his anger. Just because you're walking in the light of the Lord doesn't mean that you can't get angry now, Russell. You started your channel to bring us truths. You started your channel to speak out against the establishment. And you've done that. And this has come to a head. And this is the best opportunity that any public person has ever had. This is the opportunity. You are the one to do this. You could blow the lid off of every single criminal justice system across this world, across the globe. You could expose everyone. You could help millions of people that have been wrongly incarcerated for crimes they didn't commit. And I'm disappointed that you get on your podcast and you apologize to people. That's not the Russell that I grew to love. I respected you because you said shit that people were scared to say. And now you have an opportunity to shine a light on the power of the government, wrongful incarceration, the power of the justice system, the lack of justice in the justice system. So many things. I'm literally getting chill bumps. So many things that you could shine a light on, and you get on your YouTube channel making an apology video. You've lost your luster, Russell. You've lost your luster. And you're playing a stupid game. And I understand that you feel and you know that you did not do this. But what you fail to understand is they don't care. And they will stop at nothing to prove that you did this. Even falsifying documents, collecting witnesses that are not actual witnesses, anything, planting evidence, falsifying documents, finding, people to say that they know you and tell them bad stories, and they just take it and they write it down, and then they get a judge to sign off of it, and they're like, yep, he damn had an orgy with 15 monkeys while smoking crack in 1998, and the court just takes it as word. Even though there's no physical evidence and actual evidence to support this, because one person that you met one time said it, the court says, oh yeah, she did that, or he did that. Do you see how it works? Yeah, he's in big shit. First you get criminally charged, then you get damn civilly sued. He's in big shit. And it's my prediction that he might actually see some time, because it doesn't seem like he's taking it serious, and that's a huge concern. So, I really thought that he was gonna, I don't know, maybe I have too much faith in people. I really thought that maybe he would take this opportunity to help others. How do you spend your whole career fighting against the establishment, and then when the establishment brings false charges up on you, you start apologizing? I'm sorry. You think your sorries is going to keep you out of jail? Boy, they already damn planted evidence, found 4 witnesses that you probably didn't even ever have sex with. And all it's going to take is a jury of peers to say, oh, we believe her and not you. And you're going for life. Life. Find your luster, babe. It's time to get angry, Russell. How many more people's lives are going to be torn apart by the justice system? How many people are going to have to suffer? I mean, and you're one of the lucky ones, because you have a job and a career and money to hire an attorney. There's hundreds of thousands of us out here that didn't have that opportunity, and we lost everything. And now we can't even find work because the government lied on us. The government lied. There's millions of us out here. I'm just one of the stronger ones that sees the bigger picture, and that's why I talk about it. Most people in my position would feel guilt or shame. I have none of that, because I know that I never harmed my child. Just anger. Just anger. Yeah, it makes me sad. I was really hoping that he was gonna have some fight in him. He ain't got no fight in him. I mean, I understand he's 51 years old, but he might not even get through a life sentence. And you got children and a wife. You better find your anger, or you're going to be going to jail. That's my advice. And a team of lawyers. But this apology bullshit is going to make you look guilty. Trying to turn the other cheek is going to make you look guilty. And it did. That video, I was just like, what is this? The whole 12-minute video, it's the last video that he posted on his YouTube channel. You can go watch it, Russell Brand. I was like, what is this? He's like, I only believe in consensual sex. What are you talking about right now? Does that really need to be said? I was expecting, this is bullshit, I have a family. I expected the truth. I wanted to hear from Russell, this is because I spoke out against the establishment. This is because of my political views. This is because of my belief in God. That's what I wanted to hear. But he didn't say that. He just apologized. What is this? Now I'm wondering if you're fucking guilty, bruh. Like, I had your back until you opened your mouth. Like, I don't know, man. Call me crazy. I just don't understand how people just accept shit like that. How? How do you just accept that? I mean, he actually could cause a worldwide reform of institutions and policies and the way that we do things, and he just, I'm sorry. I'm just not going to have any hope in anybody anymore. How about that? Ye have little faith in everybody but Jesus. It's just frustrating when you see people with a platform like that and they turn. It's like, oh, I mean, and listen, like I said, maybe there's something he ain't telling us, and I'm sure that there is, because this is a court case and these are legal matters, but I really expected him to be Russell, and he was not. He was a sheep. The whole reason that we even fell in love with the guy was because he was so outlandish and he said everything that we were thinking. Stuff that most people are too scared to say. And then he gets on there and barely defends himself. Missed opportunities, you know? God, my stomach hurts. Got like this pit from like y'all see why I cut the comments off? If you don't do what the government is telling you to do, they will weaponize the justice system against you. They've done it for generations. People have spent their whole lives in prison and died in prison for shit they didn't do because the justice system was weaponized against them because they refused to conform to what society wanted them to conform to. Usually the government. And it usually has to do with children too, if I'm being honest. We're talking about like how they weaponize it. If you don't want to give your children vaccines, they'll steal your children and throw you in jail for neglect. That's what I'm saying. Which is crazy. Who are you to tell any mother what their child should or shouldn't have? Now, there's certain vaccines that are a necessity, like MMR, but like, you know what I mean? I'm talking about like COVID vax. That was crazy. Remember when they forced all them people to get vaccines? Or said, or else you're going to lose your job. Remember that? That's what I'm talking about. The government has no right to be behaving that way. And they do the same thing with parents. They do the same thing to fucking celebrities that damn won't get on board. Russell. I mean, he is a right-wing conservative. And that's not really allowed right now in the UK. So, I'm joking. But you know what I mean. They've lost their minds. So, you think we got it bad here? God, you should see Canada. It's pretty bad, but damn. The lefties have destroyed everything. Almost the entire world. It only took them 4 years to destroy the United States. I thought there was a Dunkin' down here, but I don't see it. Y'all, I got school stuff coming up, and I'm so just like stressed out about everything. I've got to get a computer, and I'm just stressed out. I was thinking that financial aid would pay for it, but it's not going to happen. There it is. The computer that I have, it won't even download the app that I need for my classes. He said that when I was at the school the last time, he said that they have kids come in from the high school that has the same laptop that I have currently, which is a Samsung something, Chromebook or something, and he said that they have to convert them over to new computers too, because the high schools in that county, they use the same computers that I have.
Is it done? I think order.
Yeah, can I do your bacon, egg, and cheese wrap?
Of course.
And let me do a small latte, please. Iced.
Small iced latte, nothing in it?
No, thank you.
Alrighty, anything else for you today?
That'll be it.
Alright, so it's going to be $7.82 the next bill.
Thank you. Oh shit. Uh-oh. It's not recognizing my face. God. Good morning. Thank you. All right. Can't see in there, can you? Okay, good. I was just trying to make sure. Good morning. Thank you. I already got mine. Yeah, I'm waiting on a breakfast wrap and a straw. No problem. I don't know what's going on at all. Can I have a straw, please? Thank you. Have a great day. All right, y'all. Roll this up. Rolling, rolling, rolling. They're always nice there. Can I sit in this bar parking lot and eat? We're gonna do it anyways. Screw them. Why does everybody use that damn emoji? That's how I know a fake account. It's ridiculous. It's the same shit. Different day. Same type of people. Lord. It's just God. It's so fucking annoying. It's like dealing with toddlers. 2-track minds. Sex and dating. Y'all know there's more to life, right? Like a big, beautiful world out here. Lots of good food to eat. Wonderful people to meet. And you don't have to fuck everybody you meet, okay? You ain't gotta, hi, nice to meet you. You wanna get... Brooke! Surprise me. Teach me something. Tell me something. You know? Like, damn, is that too much to ask for? I'm looking for hot sauce. Bacon, egg, and cheese. My camera don't work. Why? There it is. It's like it won't pick up the resolution or whatever, you know? Thank you. I wish I would have got a black one, but this one was on sale for $2, so it's the best thing to protect your hair. I've seen about a 50% difference in my hair since I bought a bonnet, so that's good. I need a fucking clothes. This shirt. What was that? Bruh. I'm uncomfortable without one. Stay right there for a minute, please. Oh, God, I'm sore. Shit. You can tell that I've done this 1,000 times. Oh. Can't get in there. We got support. Maybe not the kind we need, but we got support. So even Russell himself says that he doesn't believe in statute of limitations. He says that if somebody committed a crime, that they should be charged, no matter how long it's been. So he agrees with me. Right, we are here to love one another, Russell, but how does a man that spent his entire half of his career, the better part of his career, talking about the corruption in government, how does he not understand the corruption in government? This is concerning. You've spent your whole career talking about the UK on your podcast, on your YouTube channel. You talk about the corruption. And now, in your apology video, you say, I believe in justice. I believe... What? You built your career off of talking about corruption, but now you believe in the justice system? Whatever, honey. If you spend the rest of your life in prison, it's your own damn fault. It's your own damn fault. Because you ain't fighting. And you need to be angry, Russell. I'm walking in the light of the Lord. Okay, but Satan runs earth. It makes me mad. I was really hoping that he was going to be a beacon of hope. Not with this shit. I understand he's a father now. I understand he's 50 years old. I understand. Real fighters, though, we never stop fighting. Courageous people never give up. I will go to my grave being defiant against this government. It will never end. My hate for the government will never end. I don't know how you lose that after you're wrongfully charged with rape, forcible rape, oral rape. How do you just lose the whole purpose of your existence when you're charged with crimes you claim you didn't do? Wouldn't that be the opportunity to fight, fight, fight? So either Russell Brand knows something that he's not telling us, which I'm sure to be the case. Either there's something he's not telling us and he's actually guilty, or he's a complete fraud and one of the dumbest people to ever walk the earth. And prior to watching that video this morning, his apology video that he just put on his YouTube channel, prior to watching that video, I really thought that Russell was a pretty intellectual guy. I'm disappointed. I'm hurt. I'm disappointed. I really thought that maybe he would be a beacon of hope for people that have been wrongfully incarcerated for crimes that they didn't do, and the justice system being weaponized against people who refuse to conform to what the government wants them to. I really thought that he was going to be a beacon of hope. Good morning, Lewis. And he's not. He's acting like a vagina. He is. He's acting like a vagina. How do you spend the better part of your career fighting against the establishment, and then when you're charged with rape, you just bow over and take it up the ass? You say, I'm sorry, I'm walking in the light of the Lord, I'm sorry. What? Russell Brand? You started your entire career shit-talking the government. And here you are, many years later, being charged with crimes that you claim, and I believe, that you didn't do. And instead of having backbone and defending yourself and being angry, you say, oh, I'm sorry, my bad, I'm sorry. What? That's not the Russell I know. Russell, I'm going to need you to go find your balls. I'm going to need you, listen, I don't know if your wife took them when y'all had kids. I don't know if you accidentally dropped them when you had kids. I don't know what happened. But I'm going to need you to go find your pride, your self-respect, and your balls, Russell, because this is bullshit, and you should be outraged. You should be so angry right now that you can't even fucking sleep. You are rattling with anger. You are looking at the rest of your life in prison. Non-negotiable. He's looking at life in prison. But instead of a defensive Russell, we get an apologetic one. You can walk in the light of the Lord and still respect yourself. You don't just have no self-respect when you start walking with God. That's not how that works. Is that what most of society thinks? Does society think that you still won't slap a hoe if you a Christian? I still got free will. My commitment to God does not take away my free will. I'm walking in the light of the Lord. Yeah, Russell, we see you and we're proud of you. Thank God you got 22 years sober. You're a walking miracle. You're a success story that went from the worst to the best. But where are your balls? Where's your strength? The whole reason that we respected you was because you said things that other people were scared to say. You were outlandish. You said things the way that they needed to be said sometimes. You were a new, hot, fresh perspective. That's why they loved him. And he's lost it. He's absolutely lost it. I'm walking in the light of the Lord. Okay, well, that doesn't mean, honey, that you can't defend yourself. That don't mean that you can't be angry. That don't mean that you can't be outraged. Maybe the age has got him soft, man. Maybe that 51 years just softened him out. Them youngins just turned him into just a big old mush of love. I don't know. But Russell, this is your future. These are your children's futures we're talking about. This is the way that you acted in that video this morning is just, maybe he's trying to play it cool. You know, I didn't even think about that. Maybe he's like, oh, it's fine. I'm playing it cool. This is preposterous. What man dedicates the better late part of his life to discussing the truth, and then when they're wrongfully accused of crimes, they just act like a sheep? Your whole career will be purposeless if you don't find your balls. You're shitting on your entire career, Russell. You're crapping on your entire career because we respected you, because you had backbone. You don't even have backbone defending yourself. That makes you seem like a fraud and a fake. Peacefully walking with the Lord, my ass. He's going to be peacefully walking death row if he don't damn find his nuts. The Green Mile. What did they say in the Green Mile? What was the song that they sung in the Green Mile? Dead man walking. He gonna be singing Dead Man Walking, okay? If he don't go find his gonads. Like, walking in the life of the Lord. Yeah, and that's another thing. I hope he has a huge team of lawyers, because he's going to need them. He's going to need 2 or 3, because like I said, when we're talking about police corruption, the stage is already set. So the prosecution already has their witnesses. They've already went to a judge to go in front of a grand jury to indict him. So he has been indicted, and he is being charged with 4 counts, 2 of which are sexual assault. 1 is forcible rape. 1 is forcible oral assault. Whatever evidence they presented to the grand jury was enough to get an indictment. So the prosecution has some kind of evidence to point to him being the assailant in 4 different rape cases, because otherwise he would have not been charged. See, that's how that works. The prosecution has to go to a grand jury, and they have to present evidence, and then that grand jury says, yes, there's enough evidence to bring up criminal charges, and then a warrant is signed by a judge, and then that person is charged with whatever that the charge is. So There has to be enough evidence to even indict. What evidence they have to indict him, we don't know. But they had enough evidence to indict. I was indicted on no evidence. None. I was indicted on no evidence. My criminal history from 10 years prior. That's enough to get you an indictment for a charge that you did not do. I understand that most people feel like, oh, well, they would have to have evidence to charge somebody. No, they don't. No, they don't. What evidence they lack, they will create. Yeah, they'll plant. Happens every day. 8 to 10% of the prison population is actually innocent currently in the United States. That's an actual number, statistic. So, yeah. And I'm willing to bet that that's much higher because that number is from 2021. Look at everything that's happened. Do you think the justice system is running? Not a single McDonald's in this entire country is running properly. You think the justice system is running properly? I think most of us here that are my regular followers know that it's not. So, I'm preaching to the choir, but Russell could have helped so many people if he was just willing to not be scared. But I'm sure he's scared, and I'm sure he's trying to play nice. It's like he doesn't realize, though, they're already after his throat. They're not going to play nice with you, bro. They're trying to kill you. They're trying to incarcerate you for the rest of your life. This is war. An actual war. And your freedom is on the line. I'm disappointed. I was really hoping he was going to be a beacon of hope for people who are wrongfully incarcerated. I really was. He's missing an opportunity. He spent his whole career, the better late half of it, talking about corruption and politics. What better person to fight the UK justice system, take on the whole fucking system, than someone who's talked about the corruption in the UK? Do you see what I'm saying? It's the perfect storm for him. And he's missing an opportunity. He fails to realize that his channel got big and we started to love and respect him as an intellectual when he started talking about truth. That's what we come to you for. We want to see, just like Candace, just like Benny, just like Ben, okay? They do those little investigations and they talk about if that's a man or a woman. That is wild. That is a 6-hour special. Candace is wild. Oh, God. Anyways, the man, oh, God. What's his name, y'all? Does anybody know the guy's name that Candace just done the thing on? Jean-Pierre, Candace Owens. So there is yes, Bridget Macron? Y'all know who that is. So apparently that's a man. Did y'all know that? Yes, Bridget, Becoming Bridget. It is a 6-hour special that is absolutely wild. So, but that's the kind of stuff that Russell did, was kind of like investigations. He would talk about politics and the way that things were moving in the UK and stuff like that. And, you know, he's been an outspoken, displeased person of the UK. Like, he's from the UK. So, like, you know, he's been displeased by their actions and behavior in the UK. And he's been outspoken about it. And that's exactly why he's being charged. They want to shut him the fuck up. They don't know what else he knows. They're scared that he's going to keep outing them. And in my opinion, this is where this comes from. This is why he's being charged with crimes. And I just don't believe it. But I want to see the evidence. I'm going to let the evidence speak for itself. And they do have evidence that he committed these rapes. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been indicted. See, you need evidence for the indictment for the warrant. So he would have never been charged if there wasn't evidence. Do you get it? And that evidence is probably non-existent. It's probably shit that they have falsified, fabricated, and lied about, because that's what they do when they can't destroy a person that's not doing anything wrong. They will falsify, they will lie in court documents, and they'll slap a seal on it and take it as word. And this has been going on for generations. You know, it's really sad that most of the general public does not understand the way that the criminal justice system works. They think that it's fair and square, and it's not. It's all rigged and lies. I'm not saying that every person that's charged with a crime is innocent, but I'm saying there's a lot of us that get charged with crimes that were innocent, and there's nothing you can do about it. They were all in on it. And I mean all. I mean, like, yes, the entire sheriff's department, the entire Department of Social Services, if they knew about the case, they were in on it. Yes, that's how these things work. They play telephone with your fucking life. They're all friends. They cook out together. They go out to eat together. Their kids play sports together. They're closer than you and I will ever be. And it's like a high school of cool kids running the justice system. And when they don't have evidence, they'll falsify it. Been doing it for decades. A lot of cops are getting busted for it. That one cop in Las Vegas, he had over 2,000 cases they had to recall because he falsified court documents. He lied on suspects. He was planting drugs in their cars to arrest them. It happens every day. Every day. You have an awesome day. Exactly, Zoe. And they will. You think the sheriff's department is corrupt? Oh, babe. You ain't never been in a social services, have you? The Department of Social Services is 10 times more corrupt than any police office ever. Ever. Social services is a branch of the United States government. That is the government. They are way more corrupt than sheriff's departments. And their actions leads to children being sexually abused, physically abused, mentally abused, and neglected. I understand that the general public thinks that the Department of Social Services is this wonderful thing, but I can assure you that statistical studies show that children who have to go through the Department of Social Services come out on the other end much worse off with more abuse. Statistically speaking, children that grow up through the Department of Social Services have a more likely chance of being abused. And studies show that they are. Did you know that? Did you know that the Department of Social Services abuses more children through the government agency than any parent out here on the streets? Did you know that? That's a statistical fact. Statistical fact. Yeah, most of the general public don't know that either. They think that social services help children. They don't know the actual stats, the facts, the data. The data shows that more children face harm through going through DSS than anywhere else. And children that have already been victimized by a parent has a more likely chance of being victimized in the custody of social services. How sad. How sad. What a system we have built. Innocent people in jail, children getting abused. What a lovely government system. And don't get me started on the history of these agencies. Makes me sick. And Russell, you could have helped. You could have helped both industries. It would have been life-changing. I mean, I can't even put into words how life-changing, worldwide change from you. You could have made that happen. You know why? Because you have the gift of gab. You have the gift of bringing people together. There's people from all over the world that respect you. You could have let your case be a beacon of hope for everyone that is wrongfully convicted of sexual crimes that they did not commit, wrongfully convicted of any crime that they did not commit. You could have been a beacon of hope for everybody, but instead you get on your channel and you apologize for something you claim you never done. Why are you apologizing? If you didn't rape those women, then why are you apologizing? You're making yourself look guilty. But, you know, that could just be my perception because I have intuition out the ass, and so I read people much deeper than most people. But that could just be me getting that, you know, perfect read on you that most people can't see. Why are you apologizing for a crime that you claim you didn't do? That's not walking in the light of the Lord, Russell. That's becoming a sheep for Satan. See, you have to pick a side. Are you going to defend yourself and be innocent? Or are you going to be a sheep and look guilty? I really wish that the world was a different place. I really do. I wish it was a different place. But this is Satan's lair, so this is what it is. And you know, if you would have asked me 10 years ago, if you would have said, oh, Russell Brandt's going to be charged with rape and he's going to be talking, and instead of getting angry and defending himself, he's going to be talking about he's walking in the light of the Lord, I would have said, yeah, right, that'll never happen. I mean, it's literally a 360 from who he used to be. And that kind of disappoints me. Like, I'm glad that he's walking in the light of the Lord, but I can promise you one thing, I walk in the light of the Lord too, and if you walk up and put your hands on me, I'm gonna bitch slap you to the moon and back. Just because you walk in the light of the Lord doesn't mean that you just allow society and Satan to eat at you. No, honey. You walk in the light of the Lord knowing that when you land that slap, the light of the Lord is going to be slapped into their soul, okay? Like, you shouldn't be slapping nobody, but you know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. No, you don't walk in the light of the Lord and let everybody disrespect you. If anything, when you're walking in the light of the Lord, you respect yourself even more. You defend yourself even more. You have more self-respect even more. So that would mean defending yourself. Walking in the light of the Lord does not make you weak. It makes you stronger. I'm disappointed in Russell. And maybe he's going... Listen, I can only imagine. I know he's going through hell. And behind closed doors, he's going through hell. That's why you do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Even if you gotta... I'm joking. I do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Wham! I'm joking. Oh, God. That's so funny. Walk up to a fight like, you don't want to fight me, girl? She just breaks out into some jiu-jitsu move and she's like, I walk with the light of the Lord. I'm walking away. That would be too much. I would look. For real, imagine you go to fight somebody and they just bust out some jiu-jitsu move and they're like, I walk in the light of the Lord. What do you do? I'm not fighting. Hell no. Like, no. You ain't whooping my ass. Coming at me like that. Well, that's the same thing. He says he does apologize. You're not finding the 12-minute video. It's in the 12-minute video. And he does. He's like, I'm sorry that people feel this way. It's under Russell's channel. He streamed it 18 hours ago. I'm facing prison. Here's the truth. What's going on in the UK? He goes through his like marriage with Katy Perry and all of that. This is not it. Let me go to his channel. I've watched a lot of stuff by him recently. Videos. Yes. So he's been telling people that they have rights. And listen. He's been telling people that they have rights, that you shouldn't listen to the government, blah, 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 blah. And that's exactly why he was charged. But I'm looking for the video that I saw this morning. He goes on there and he's like, this is the truth. This is the truth. It's on his shorts. And he's like, he says that, you know, he was a playboy and he played the field and he had a lot of sex with women, which I believe and we remember. This is probably, you're not getting it. This whole video is problematic. The fact that he's saying, I respect women and I respect the right to consent. No. What are you doing? You're explaining yourself. Fuck these people. That's the problem. This is an apology video. Because he's sitting there giving reason. And like he's trying. No. Just no. This should have been verbatim. This is bullshit. This is because I tell y'all to love yourselves and not to trust the government, and I'm being prosecuted for charges that I did not do. This is bullshit. End of story. Why are you saying, I believe in consent and women's rights and the right to consent? And we don't need that from you, Russell. We don't need this from you. What we need you to do is get angry and then turn that anger into production. Produce something with that anger. That's the Russell that we love. The Russell that gets shit done, that speaks out against the lies, that tells us the truth. You're not doing that right now. You're saying, oh, I was a playboy. I respect women. I believe in the right to consent. Hold on. Oh, that's what he says that I really have a problem with. Listen to this. What? Absolutely not. I want to know who these bitches are. I want to see their face. He says that his victims has a right to that. No, they don't have a right to anything unless you're lying. Why would you want the enemy to win? That means you are going to prison for the rest of your life, Russell. Listen.
Do respect the rights of the complainants to total anonymity. I have complete respect for the system of justice and will be fully cooperative, knowing in my heart I'm completely innocent of these allegations.
What? I'm gonna die from a heart attack. I can't. It's too much. This is not the Russell that we fell in love with. I don't know who this bitch is, but he needs to go find his boss. This is an apology video. Oh, I respect the victims. No, you do? Okay. Well, is your respect for them going to outweigh your respect for yourself and you spend the rest of your life in prison? Because that's the game you're playing. Why would a man being falsely accused of rape charges, why would he respect the women that are lying on him? That's a real question for once. Why would a man who's been falsely charged of rape show so much respect to the victim, the supposed victims that are lying on him? What sense does that make? What sense does that make? So once again, either Russell is not being honest about something, or he knows something that we don't know, or he is playing the part of a sheep thinking that he's going to see good results in court from playing the part of a sheep. Don't make no sense. I respect the victims and their anonymity. Are these the same victims that are accusing you of rape, Russell? Because I don't know about y'all, but the last 2 times I was charged with crimes that I didn't commit, the last thing on my mind was respecting the people that was lying on me. I can promise you that. I wanted to kill them. We fell in love with Russell because of his spunk, because of his outgoingness. Where is that at now, Russell? Because you're online, in my opinion, making apology videos. You're showing more respect to the people that are trying to incarcerate you for things you didn't do, allegedly. You are showing more respect to the people that are trying to incarcerate you than to yourself and your own family. You should be outraged and angry. Well, that peace within is going to have his ass locked up, peace within. He's going to be a peace within the damn DOC. I almost wonder if maybe he doesn't remember some things. Russell was on drugs at the time. He was heavily involved in drugs and alcohol. He's been clean for 22 years. It's one of the reasons that I respect him, is because he's turned his life around and he's a success story. Society tried to destroy him. Then he tried to destroy himself. Then he was able to save himself. And somehow he made a career, a wife, and 2 or 3 beautiful children, and has a wonderful life now. It's complete success 360 success story. He's not doing himself any justice by creating content that supports the prosecution.
In integrity, I believe in truth. Why? Because I believe in God. I believe that we're here to love one another, whilst I might be a broken man.
And we are here. Okay, he says he believes in God. He believes that we're here to love one another. Absolutely, Russell. But Satan runs this world. We have free will. God is watching us. He has our back. He's always listening. But Satan has free reign over earth. That is why we have free will. We have the choice to pick God or Satan. Right now, Satan is trying to send you to prison for the rest of your life. The rules of the Bible always apply. But this is why it's left up into interpretation, I suppose. People take different things from it. In my opinion, when God said love others, he didn't mean to love others at the expense of you. God wants you to love you first and then love others. God doesn't want you to love somebody to the point to where it brings toxicity and harm to you. And that goes for toxic ass relationships too. He can love you all day long, but if he can't keep his hands off of you and keep you from having black eyes, that ain't love, you know. And you're not living God's word when you allow someone to disrespect you, mistreat you, abuse you, try to put you in prison for the rest of your life. You're not respecting yourself the way that God wants you to. God said that you are a temple. Your body is a temple. You are his child. And you owe it to yourself to have self-respect. You deserve self-respect. And I just feel like that when God says to love our brothers and sisters, absolutely. But we're not supposed to love them to a point that they are walking all over us and harming us. Then we're doing ourselves a disservice. Big words with Brooke today. Disservice. Yeah, I mean, you know, Russell Lori, he was like, remember back in the day, like when he first started his channel, everybody's like, what is this? Like, it was like Joe Rogan, but kind of like unfiltered. It's a little more unfiltered than Rogan, you know. Russell has always been very outspoken. And I feel like has he ever been charged with crimes before? Has he ever been through this? Because I don't feel like he has. You know, and it's kind of crazy because he made his whole career talking about the establishment and how horrible the government is and how much power the government has. And for someone to spend half of their career learning about these things, you would think that they would know how serious of a situation this is, and they would be handling it a lot differently. I mean, wouldn't you defend yourself? Wouldn't you be angry? Men in the chat. If you went to work this morning and your boss called you into the office and said, "Hey, we got to cut you loose because Susie at the copier said," that's how long it's been since I worked in the office. Susan at the copier said that you grabbed her ass. So we're going to have to fire you, and that's going to go on your permanent record, your permanent career record, or whatever it's called. What do? Do you get online and say, "Oh, I'm walking in the light of the Lord. You know, I respect the victim's opinion of what happened," and you know you're innocent? Why would you do that? It doesn't make sense. And if something don't make sense, it's not true. I don't know what's going on. I'm curious to see. I swear to God, if they have some kind of fucking evidence, I'm going to die. I'm going to turn on him. I mean, if there's any, let me just be clear. Let me be clear here. If there is any evidence to support that Russell Brand did in fact harm any of these women, I will turn on him so quick. You will think that there's a thunderstorm on the way. I'm going to be like a damn tree leaf in a thunderstorm. I'm going to turn so quick. Because I'm a victim myself. And I take that shit seriously. At the same time, I'm a very rational person and I see things for what they are. And I know how society will come for your throat if you don't conform. And Russell has never conformed. Russell has forged his own path consistently since he even popped up 30 years ago. Okay? He has forged his own path. He has refused to conform, and he has been defiant from the start. This is why I love him. I was about to say something else about the he was a playboy. There was something else I was going to say about his career. How do you spend that long talking about the establishment and how corrupt they are, and then when they bring up false charges on you, you just say, "Oh, well, I respect the justice system. I respect the UK. I respect the victims." How do you spend the better half of a decade speaking out against the corruption, but then when it happens to you, you just say, "Okay, I respect everybody. I trust the justice system." Listen, if there's any evidence to support this, I'm done with him. But I don't think that it has anything to do with that. I really wholeheartedly feel like these women are probably petty. They probably don't agree with what he has to say, because these are all women that are probably left wing, and I'm assuming here, but it is the UK. So if you know, you know, and you know I'm not lying when I say this stuff. More than likely, these accusers, more than likely, they are part of leftist propaganda, leftist organizations, and they believe in leftist values, okay? Russell is a right-wing, conservative, borderline extremist. So Russell, let's see when he got married and had kids, because I'm wondering if that kicked off these charges. Listen, women are bitter bitches. If any of these women liked him more than he liked them, they are going to be holding that grudge for the rest of their life. I had a dude that I ain't even seen in a year run into me at a bar here, and he stabbed my tire out because he was holding on to petty, bitter bullshit from a year prior. Women are the same way. When they don't get their way, they hate that man, and then they want to go after that man. So let's see when Russell got married and had his kids, because I'm wondering if that kicked off a chain of events. When did Russell Brand get married? 2017. You know, he was married to Katy Perry for a while, and then they got a divorce, and I think he did her pretty bad, if I'm being honest. But so let's see here. Hold on one second. Russell Brandt's kids. I'm so good at what I fucking do. So he had his first daughter, Mabel, in 2016. Then he had another daughter born in 2018. And then a third child born in 2023. Y'all, I'm not saying that these women are coming after him now because he's happy with a wife and kids. I'm just saying that these women are coming after him now because he's happy with a wife and kids. Oh, these bitter bitches. Now listen, when I see the evidence, I'm only going to believe half of it because I understand better than most people how they can plant evidence. So when this goes public, we're going to be talking about it because I love Russell. I've always liked Russell. Even when he was a skeezy hoe bag of a man, I was a hoe bag of a girl at the time. So, you know, pot, meat, kettle. So I liked him back then because the culture, you know, was hookup culture in my late 20s. So, yeah. So we were kind of doing the same things at the same times in different ways, you know, with different motives and values. But still, we ended up kind of in the same place. You know, he's much more well off than me. But, you know, clearly he gave his life to the Lord. And that's one of the things that I respect. And I've watched a lot of his content, you know, when it comes to discussing Jesus and Christ. And I have a lot of respect for Russell. And I hope that this isn't true. But at the end of the day, I would simply say that you're making yourself look guilty by not defending yourself. You should be outraged. You have every right to be outraged. I would plead with you to think about this on a larger scale and how many people's lives have been destroyed for decades, generation after generation, simply because they could not defend themselves. In America, if you don't have money, you don't get a defense. I would beg of Russell to use this opportunity to help other people. We believe in you. We don't think that you did this. I know there's the other half that do, but fuck them. Who cares what they think? They're not screwed right in the head. That's why their hair's blue. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, or was it the blue dye that went to their head that make them not screwed right in the head? I don't know. But I would beg of you to defend yourself. Defend yourself, please. Stop with this walking in the light of the Lord. Like, I get what you're trying to do, but you're playing a game with your future. You don't know what evidence they have thus far, and he won't know. It'll probably be 2 years till this goes to trial. It'll be a while. You'll have to wait on the motion of discovery. That'll take over a year. So the motion of discovery will have everything that happened in each case, and it'll be a compiled document of all of the evidence, everything the prosecution has, everything the defense has. It'll all be compiled into one document. And so that can take over a year to even get to the defense and the prosecution and the defense both have to have a copy, and then it has to be given to the client, the defendant, and the people that are trying to prosecute him. They have to have copies. There's policy and procedure when it comes to court, and everybody has to have due process. And so it can take a while. And so it might be a year or two, or maybe even 3, before we see a resolution on this. And I would just advise Russell to not get comfortable. They are playing hardball with you, and this is the type of situation where there may be more charges to follow. There may be more charges to follow. So you need to be getting an attorney, preferably like 3 of them. You're going to need like around the clock attorney care. This is not going to be an easy process, and you need to start building your defense. You don't necessarily have to prove that you didn't do it. You just have to create doubt. You know? A lot of it. And it's been so long. But this is the thing, you guys. If they want to charge him, and actually if they are really trying to prosecute him, it doesn't matter what defense he has. They will find a way to put his ass in jail, unless the public is so outraged that something else happens. But the way that the court system works, is that they can just plant evidence. They can just say whatever they want, a judge signs off of it, and it becomes word. And it doesn't have to be true. And this is the downfall of our criminal justice system. Things are lost in translation, misinterpreted, and then some cop just puts something down and it's not even actually what happened during an incident. This happens every day. Hello, hello. Oh God, he was a sex addict. Russell Brand was absolutely a sex addict. But I think that it was the combination of stimulants and sex that really brought that whole picture together. He's been open about his drug use and then his sex addiction, and I think that they went hand in hand. In my opinion, I don't see Russell Brand being a sexual perverse pervert. I don't. I think that Russell was young and having a fun time. And I think that Russell thought that he had a sex addiction. And I think that it probably was a sex addiction, but it stemmed from the drugs. See, when you're taking stuff like cocaine or methamphetamine, it's going to bring the need for sexual attention out more. You're going to be more sexually promiscuous when you're doing those types of things because it's a stimulant. So it's going to stimulate you in more ways than one. And so Russell has been open about using drugs, heroin too. Even though heroin is a suppressant, when people take heroin, they have the urge to have sex. Not all, but you know, it intensifies sexual activity. And so I don't believe for one moment that Russell is a sexual predator. I've never felt that way. Even when he was a man whore, he was a respectful man whore in some way. Like, as respectful as you can be being a man whore and a womanizer. He was still respectful. Like, it was weird, you know? He's an anomaly. You know what I mean? He is. He's like the type of dude that would like open the door for you and then slap you on the ass. You know what I mean? Like, he was a sex addict, but he wasn't a sexual predator. And it's my belief that sex addiction was running current with his drug addiction, which probably made both of them worse. When we're dealing with addiction and you start introducing multiple things that one person could be addicted to, we typically see an amplified effect take place. So like, say that I like cocaine and gambling. Well, I'm fine if I'm just doing cocaine at home by myself. Okay, that's fine. I can handle it. But if I go to the gambling spot and start doing cocaine, it turns into a massive problem. Like, I'm there for days. I'm going through my life savings. And in my opinion, this is what we see Russell's sexual behavior come from. The drugs and the perversion to want to have sex at a young age. And he wasn't young. He was in his 30s and 20s. So, you know, I think, you know, he is a self-identified sex addict. He says himself that he was addicted to sex. And I can see that. But I wonder if he knows it's because of the drugs. Because he's not a sexual predator. And that's very clear. I wonder if he knows that his sex addiction came from the drug addiction, is my point. That's just my opinion, psychologically speaking, on him, because he shows no criteria for sexual predator or perverse predator at all. He doesn't even remotely meet the criteria. Yeah, he was a man whore, but half of the country is. That doesn't make him a bad person because he liked vagina. That makes him a great person. Thank God. Oh, God. Yeah, concurrent. Thank you. An anomaly. Yeah, I don't know. He's never had a problem getting a woman. Thank you, Noli. No doubt. Yeah, I don't doubt. A lot of people hung out with P. Diddy. You know how many people hung out with P. Diddy? Pretty much everybody, from Oprah to Ellen. Everybody. The Rock. Like, there's pictures of P. Diddy with everybody. You can't assume that someone is up to some nefarious shit like P. Diddy just because they met him once or hung out with him a bunch of times. There was a lot of people that went to those white parties and those black parties and those parties that they had Justin Bieber, I mean, since y'all want to bring up P. Diddy, Justin Bieber's going off the damn deep end, and I'm concerned. I think he's going to die. I mean, I don't know what drug he's on, but he's on drugs. No. Let me say it again. Justin Bieber is on drugs, allegedly. That is my accusation. I'm the first one to say it. Justin Bieber is on drugs, in my opinion. He's spiraling. It's not good. God, he looks so bad. What the fuck? I don't know what's going on with him. Was that song real where he's crying about P. Diddy? Is that real? Did y'all hear that? Hold on. Justin Bieber viral song talking about P. Diddy. P. Diddy, not pity. P. Diddy. God, they were super close. Who just lets their damn, like, 10-year-old son go stay at some damn... So it was a song called P. Diddy's Party. It's called I Lost Myself at a Diddy Party. Is that real? I don't know. That's not real. There's no way he really wrote that song. All right. When Bieber was just starting out, him and Diddy were very close, and they called each other like a brother. And there's social media post where, y'all remember when Justin Bieber went to go stay at P. Diddy's house for like 48 hours? There's like a viral video of it. They were showcasing like the inside of the house, and they're standing out by the pool, and P. Diddy's got his arm wrapped around Justin, and he's like, yeah, this is my dude for the next like 48 hours or something. Remember that? Creepy. And then the next year, Justin went back to P. Diddy's house, and it was a year later exactly. And the difference in Justin's demeanor in that year is so telling to me. So the first year that Justin stayed at P. Diddy's house for 48 hours, Justin seemed all happy, but you can notice in the video, he seems kind of nervous, like he doesn't know what's going on. He seems like a kid in an adult element, kind of like a fish out of water, and he's like, what's going on? You can see it in the viral video. Well, a year later, Justin is not smiling at all. P. Diddy's like, yeah, here's my boy Justin, he's back this year, da 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 da, and Justin is just standing there looking extremely uncomfortable. It's crazy. Oh, I don't know. It's like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So it should be noted that Bieber was very young at the time, and now the stories about Diddy's parties have come out, and people are wondering what exactly he was exposed to. Basically, everyone has come around to the idea that JB was a child, and maybe Hollywood and the entertainment industry should have treated him like one instead of stuff like this. Hold on one second. Oh, remember when Jenny McCarthy assaulted Justin Bieber and sexually assaulted him by grabbing him on the red carpet? Do you remember that? Oh, no, 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 no. It was on stage in front of people. She's kissing all over him, grabbing his body. Jenny McCarthy. Who knew that she was a damn pedophile? Who knew? He was underage when she was doing this to him. What woman of that age wants to be touching on a child anyways? She's like my age. I don't even talk to 25, 30-year-old men. So why would a woman of this age be kissing and grabbing all over Justin Bieber when he was like 16, 17 years old? And it was on the award show. Look, I'll roll it back. National TV, Jenny McCarthy walks up to Justin Bieber on the stage and physically attacks him sexually. Look at him. He's a kid. Look at this. And we wonder why he's fucked up in the head. Imagine being him, that child, because he was a child. I don't care if he was 22. He was still a child. Imagine being that kid and the whole world seeing that and nobody saying shit about it. How that would make you feel as a child, knowing that you were just sexually assaulted, because that's what it is. You were just sexually assaulted on national TV and nobody even checked to see if you were okay. And we wonder why he's not doing well. I had no clue about this. Jenny McCarthy needs to be looked at. Maybe on a watch list. What a sick bitch. Why would you grab a child like that and start forcing yourself on a child? Women can do it and it's no problem. But God, if that would have been damn Chris Rock squeezing up on Britney Spears, there would have been problems. The double standard is disgusting in this country. And it's everywhere. There's double standards in everything. "22 is absolutely a child. Your brain doesn't even fully develop to approximately 30 years of age. Neither does your femur until approximately 25. Your frontal cortex doesn't even completely develop until around approximately 25 to 35. You are still a child at the age of 22. It's unfortunate the way that society puts so much weight on these poor children to be adults way too soon. But scientifically speaking is how we speak over here. And scientifically speaking, that's still a child. There's people pointing out that it seems like he has a lot of trauma response going on, which is like, trauma responses can be movements, they can be a person's demeanor, they can be a person's actions. Trauma responses are different for everybody. My trauma response is to fight. So when anything, like, I don't know how to put it into words. Yeah, Jenny should have gotten way more heat for that. She was in her 30s sexually assaulting a teenager. I can only imagine the outrage if the genders were reversed. Jenny is 1000% trash, and I've disliked her since. Same girl, I just saw it and I hate her already. I don't know. I feel bad for Justin. I mean, it's clear he's not doing well, but like, what do you do? Like, his parents did this to him. His parents sold him to a sex trafficker. For stardom. For stardom. How do you get on here and say that the law is... Listen to this. He says, we live in a time where we know that the justice system has become oh God,
a kind of weapon to be used against people, institutions, and sometimes entire nations that will not accept and tolerate levels of corruption that are unprecedented. I'm speaking particularly.
So you know this, and you say this, and then the following hour, you post a video apologizing to the victims. I mean, and you didn't apologize, but listen, y'all call it what you want, okay? The only thing that I wanted from him was for him to come in hot swinging, because that's what he has the right to fucking do. Anytime somebody does something to you, you have the right to defend yourself. So why are you not defending yourself when you know that the court system is being weaponized against you, Russell? This is what put you on the map. I'm gonna drop it. I'm just disappointed. I like Russell. I'm disappointed in him. You got your whole career off the ground by having strength and fighting. And when you go to jail for crimes you didn't do, now you've been indicted on 4 sex charges. And you just gonna walk in the light of the Lord? Boy, you better get it together before you never see your damn youngins again. I'm gonna need you to go get your balls back. I don't know where you put them when you got married, Russell. But walking in the light of the Lord does not mean that you just go to jail for crimes you did not commit. It's crazy to me how sheepish society has become. It's like they don't even want to stand up for themselves anymore. They don't even want to have their own backs. But they want you to respect them and their values. You don't even respect yourself. Crazy ass world we're living in. Crazy world. What a missed opportunity. What a missed opportunity. You're like one of the forefathers of government corruption, and then you go to jail for crimes you claim you didn't do. You're about to go to jail for crimes you claim you didn't do. But instead of talking about how the court system has been weaponized against you, you show respect to the victims that are trying to put you in life prison for life. You show respect to the victims that are the supposed victims that are trying to put you in prison for life. It don't make no sense. It does not make sense. And the more I talk about it, the more I think something else is going on. Say it, the more sense it don't make. Your whole career. This is your golden opportunity to show the world how the justice system is weaponized against people. And you just say, I respect the victims. I'm walking in the light of the Lord. What the fuck? What the fuck? What is going on out here? Like I said, if you would have told me 10 years ago that Russell Brand would be arrested for sex charges and then he'd just walk in the light of the Lord and not even defend himself, I'd call you crazy. That'd be like me saying, oh, Rogan's not having a podcast this week. Like, that's crazy, you know? It's like, oh, Candace just shut her whole show down and decided that she doesn't want to talk politics anymore. That's crazy. It's the same thing that Russell Brand's charged with sex crimes and he's not defending himself, nor is he angry. That's crazy. This is Russell Brand. I don't know, man. I want to have faith that he's innocent, but his own actions and his own words are making me feel like he's guilty, and it really sucks because I don't think he's guilty. I don't think he's guilty. But it goes to show that your lack of seriousness in a situation can make you look guilty as fuck. I don't know too many people that were charged with crimes they didn't do that weren't outraged. Most people that are innocent are fucking outraged. So I just don't know where his gall went, you know? It's like, don't you have guts? That's the whole reason we even respected you, is because you had guts. Now, where's your guts when you need them for yourself? You about to do life in prison. And you're just gonna, I respect the victims and the justice system. It's almost like he doesn't realize that he's about to go to war. It's already started. The war started when they indicted your ass. I don't understand it. It don't make sense. Innocent people are outraged when they're charged with crimes. I don't get why he's not outraged. Unless, like I said, he's guilty and he knows something we don't, and he was expecting this for a long time coming. That actually makes a lot of sense, but I don't believe that he's a sexual pervert. He doesn't meet any of the criteria. He's not a sexual sadist. He doesn't meet the criteria. So, you know, he doesn't show any hint of being a sexual predator. And usually people that have that perversion, they don't typically go for Jesus and convert themselves into Christianity, because they know that God strictly prohibits sex outside of marriage. We don't see a lot of, now there's the whole flip side of that use it to obtain children. Absolutely. There's people that use the church to have access to children. But I'm talking about sexual sadists, sexual predators. We don't typically see men that are rapists convert to Christianity to have access to women to rape. It's not really what we see. Men that are sexual perverts of that nature, sexual sadists or sexual predators, they steer clear of religion. But the flip side is sexual perverts that go into ministry to have access to children. Now, those would be pedophiles. Two different things. Pedophiles like children, sexual perverts, sexual sadists is the affliction for children, or the affinity, or whatever you want to call it, the perversion for children. That's what makes them a pervert or a pedophile, is that they like children. A sexual sadist is an adult thing. And I'm not saying that no sexual sadists have never messed with children, because they have. It's complex, okay? If you want to know more, pick up the DSM-5, okay? Oh, God. And I haven't even read that fucker in like 25 years. I think the last time I read a DSM, it was like 2. It was probably 3. But still. I don't know. Russell doesn't strike me. And then, you know, the whole Christian aspect, the settling down, the having a family, the calming down. He grew up. Plain and simple. It's just not typically someone that we would see committing these types of crimes that they're claiming. And hell, we don't even know exactly what happened. They're not releasing a lot of the information because they can't. They have to get the motion of discovery together before they can release anything to the public. The trial has to take place before they can release anything to the public. I guess that's when we'll find out. 2 years from now, 3 years from now, when he's being tried in court in the UK. So crazy. That breakfast taco was good. I just wish that he was angry. Well, I'm about to relax, y'all. Oh, it cooled off last night. It rained at 8:50. They weren't calling for it till 11, and I said, oh, it'll rain at 7:30 or 8, and it rained at 8:50. So I was down. I was closer than the meteorologist. They said 11. If I say 7:38, and it happens at 8:50, but they don't call it till 11, I was closer. Damn it. It's still a little bit off, but hell, if we're talking about a 24-hour period of time, I think I got pretty damn close. 7:30 to 8 o'clock and 8:50 is when it rained. That's pretty damn close. It's 50 minutes off. So, I don't know. It cooled it off a lot, but it's still supposed to be hot today. I can't make up my mind if I want to work out or not. I've been going so hard. I need a rest day. But it's hard for me to rest because it's just not who I am. So, damn it. I've been working out a lot. All the red dots are days I worked out. Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe he's just being nice to see what evidence they have, and he doesn't want to come out swinging hot. And I get that, but like the whole premises of showing respect to the victims, if you're innocent, why? You don't owe them women anything. If you're innocent, those women owe you a lot. Because they're trying to take your future from you and put you in jail. What am I missing? Walking in the light of the Lord is not allowing others to disrespect you. That's Satan. Walking in the light of the Lord is respecting yourself, respecting others, and demanding respect. That's walking in the light of the Lord. To demand respect. I don't know. I wonder if a lot of Christians feel like Christianity is supposed to be, you're not supposed to be a sheep when you become a Christian. You don't give up your basic human rights or respect because you're a Christian. Quite the opposite. You gain more when you invite God into your life. You walk taller with God in your life. You stand stronger with God in your life. You don't bow down because God tells you to walk in his light. That is not what he means. He does not mean become a sheep. God wants you to be a warrior for him. Yeah, I do see what you're saying, Peanut Butter Jelly. Maybe he's trying to like turn the other cheek and not ruffle feathers so that it's not as bad, but I can assure him that's not what you want to do. It's not what you want to do. You know, we'll see what happens. It's going to be a while before he goes to court, but I feel bad for his new wife and their 3 children, honestly, because this poor woman married this guy and now she's going through all this crap, which I'm sure she knew what she was getting herself into prior to marrying him, but I feel bad for the kids more than anything. It's just sad. People can just say whatever they want, and then society will say, oh, that's true. And it's just crazy to me. It's so crazy. It's exactly what I'm going through. And when I saw him going through this, I said, thank God somebody else is experiencing this. Well, he's handling it completely different than I did. I can assure you of that. I can assure you of that. But anyways, I'm going to run for now. I got to get dressed and stuff, y'all, and get my day going. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if we're going to pick up trash. I don't know if we're going to go to the gym. I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to do something, though. And please pray for Justin and Russell. They both need it. They both need it. They've both been through it. And I don't believe that Russell was guilty, but I do wish that he would find his anger. He could help a lot of people by just being open. He could help a lot of people. And he has a platform to change things, and I don't even think he realizes it. there's enough people that have been through what we've been through that want change in the criminal justice field. And Russell could be the one to make that happen if he would just stand up for himself. He could bring change throughout the world. It's just sad. I feel like he's missing an opportunity. He worked half a decade to build his career. And then he gets this golden opportunity to change things, to shed a light, to save himself. And it seems like he's missing his golden opportunity, in my opinion. But anyways, I love you guys, and we'll talk later. And I hope y'all have a good morning. Y'all be safe out there today, and pray for me, because God knows I need it, and I'm praying for you guys. Bye, y'all.